Boom, we are alive, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to talk about the recent FOMC meeting. Today, the Federal Reserve policy decided not to raise interest rates for the second time since March 2022. Now, I don't know why people are going to trust them again. You might remember somewhere in 2021, Jerome Powell came out and he was like, check this out, ladies and gentlemen. I still think high inflation is temporary. Now, inflation is always temporary. Everything is temporary. As soon as you add the word temporary in there, it basically gives you an excuse to be wrong at every single step of the way. It's ridiculous. We let these people get away with lying straight to our face every time. They didn't raise rates for twice in a row, though. And there's some important things to take a look at. Next, also, just to remind everyone, also, Janet Yellen, transitory view of U.S. inflation. Of course, I still don't understand why it is we think, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, what we should do, the people that have been wrong all the time, let's trust them. The people who say, hey, inflation doesn't come from government basically creating new monetary provisions, whether it's through the Federal Reserve or even just their spending. Of course, it doesn't come from They could never be at fault for the problems that they're causing that would uproot their story, right? So they always have to find someone else to blame, like Russia and the other number of people that come out there. And one of the reasons why it's important to understand this is, if fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. It's an old quote for a reason, which we should keep. I don't know how they can get away with rewriting history, but for some reason, every time some new stuff comes up, people just seem to have forgotten that these guys have been wrong every step of the way to begin with. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't want to trust them. So here we go. U.S. states, or the United States inflation rate year over year, on the far left-hand corner of the screen. And there we go. We'll give it a bit more space. Down at 1915. At 1.61. Now, we're basically in the range. Now, if you look at the at least all of the data that we have recorded here for the U.S. inflation rate, why would we not suspect that we're pretty much in the perfect? Yeah, we're back in the band basically. We're in the sweet spot. So where's the perfect inflation rate? This is approximately through most of the history. This is where we've spent time. We've kind of just fallen back into a really comfortable place. This is the second time that they have not raised rates. A big question is, when will they start to print again? Now, here's the United States monetary supply, or the M2. Again, no new updated data. Oh, wait, no, we do have August in here now. Awesome. Okay, August. No real increase, but nonetheless still high. A very slight increase of a few billion, probably some war mongering money nonsense they forgot about. So nothing hitting the street per se. But every government in the past has just continued to print. Every time in the past, all they've done is increase the M2. This is all the way back to 1959 here. I don't even have any more data on the M2 here on TradingView, but it's all they've done is increase it. They've never really decreased it. This is one of the first times they've decreased it technically in comparison. Now, this little blip, I think, over the next year or two is going to disappear, and they're going to turn the printing press back on. One of the other things I wanted to take a look at quickly was just the federal fund rate, just again so you can see the last decade of data here from the FOMC meeting, or a few decades. We're back. We're actually right now in one of the more consistent areas. It was more unusual that we were down at 0% interest rate. Like, people don't know how ridiculous that is, but 0% interest rates means you can just take out a loan and basically not have to pay it back. Or you can have forever to pay back. As long as the interest rates are low, you're fine. And it's very difficult to actually not make money if you can just take out a loan of that amount. It's easy. You just got to start learning who you should be paying more. But anyways, because we're kind of in what's normal territory here for where the interest rate should be, I believe a lot of this is to suck M2 back into the system. I think over the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to see an implosion of the entire private banking system. The Federal Reserve is going to come in and go, great, private banks are just, it's too many pieces and it's too many greedy people. So we're just going to take over all of that. Here's your FedCoin bank account. It's a digital currency. It's not going to happen today, but it is going to happen soon. And it's one of the reasons why we believe Bitcoin over the long term will become extraordinarily valuable, is because your money, when it's least safe from governments, you start to find out how important it is to have it as an asset that can be mobile. And we haven't really seen that too many times in history. We just saw it recently in 2020. People were traveling all over the planet trying to find new places to live. But what does that mean? Effectively, there's no wrong time to buy, technically. You could just keep investing like any good asset. But life is also for living. So don't forget to enjoy yourself. Don't stare at the charts all the time. Don't get worried what's going on. It's all one giant theater and play, for better or for worse. Just enjoy the ride. I think they're going to turn that printing press back on. Maybe not tomorrow, but they've now stalled the rates twice. How much longer till they decrease them? And how much longer till they start cranking out the M2 again? History doesn't repeat itself always exactly, but it sure likes to make a sweet rhyme. Anyways, just a quick little update on the FOMC and my thoughts of I don't know why we would trust anything these people say or what they do, or like how to make guesses about it. Look, we know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to rinse it all the way to the bottom. They're going to jack up interest rates. They're going to suck all the M2 back. They're going to collapse the banks, and then they're going to try to print the crap out of the monetary supply again and probably helicopter money to everybody again. Oh yeah, don't worry that you don't have a job right now. We got you covered. That's what the government's going to try to do. Now, again, this is not going to happen this week or next week, but it will happen. And it is happening because people don't care. So, I don't know. I don't care either. Do whatever you want. Print the crap out of the dollar, Federal Reserve. Save us all some time.